Even for a franchise as big as Pokemon that has so many pieces of iconic imagery, perhaps none is more iconic or recognizable as the Pokeball itself. It's even featured on the back of every official Pokemon TCG card printed, but what about the front-facing representation? Today we're going to be looking at all the various balls that have seen print in the Pokemon TCG and rate them according to usability, artwork, etc., per the normal TCG history protocol. So let's get started with the original Pokeball from Jungle. Flip a coin, and if heads, you may search your deck for a basic or evolution Pokemon card, show it to your opponent, and then put it in your hand. This is extremely weak compared to a lot of the other search power that was in even base Fossil. But this is a very simple card to use. It incorporates coin flips. It's an easy card to pull you into what trainers are supposed to do in the Pokemon TCG, so this was a no-brainer early inclusion for the early days of the TCG. Its status as a beginner staple may be the reason that it's been reprinted 21 times as of recording. And I gotta say, across all of those reprintings and alternate artworks, this artwork is still my favorite version of Pokeball. There's just something so dynamic about a ball just kind of floating there with this little trickle of light coming out of it. It's got this weird early digital aesthetic to it that I really love about a lot of the base Fossil cards. Nothing's wrong with any of the other Pokeball artworks, they're just all kind of samey, except for that Heart Gold Soul Silver one. That one's pretty nice. Moving on to Master Ball, which first saw print in Gym Challenge, a great card for decks that care about getting Pokemon into play very quickly. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You can take a basic or evolution card from those cards, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. No coin flip required. You can't search out exactly what you need, but for those decks that have a lot of Pokemon in them, no matter what you hit is going to be a bonus, because in Pokemon, thinning is winning, and you can just play a Master Ball, grab a Pokemon Shuffle, play another Master Ball, grab a Pokemon Shuffle, and each time you do that, you are bettering your draws for the rest of the game. Thanks to reprints, this card got to see continued play up as far as the early Diamond and Pearl era, where I unknowingly played Master Ball for the last time in my Quickatune deck. Rest in peace, Quickatune. You were an awful archetype. The e-reader era brought us Dual Ball. And there's a lot of obvious jokes you can make here, ranging from the fact that there are 2 balls, or the fact that they are positioned to look like voluptuous breasts. But I will not be making any such jokes on this channel. I am more refined than that, guys. This time we are flipping 2 coins for each heads. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon card that isn't a baby, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. Odd that you can't grab a baby for these milkers, considering that the credited artist is Big Mama. I do think that Dual Ball is an upgrade to the original Pokeball, though you can't grab evolution cards with it. By the time we were in the e-reader era, there were already so many search and draw options that only decks that really prioritized getting Pokemon into the hand used 4 copies of Dual Ball, in what I would call the ball engine for those decks. This engine utilized the Apricorn Maker supporter, which lets you search out 2 ball cards in your deck that would allow you to get the fastest setup and consistency going. Aside from Master Ball and Dual Ball, you could also search up Friend Ball. A great utility card if your deck has a variety of different Pokemon types in it, though this one can be very situational. Lure Ball, a great late game recycler that lets you bounce back evolution cards from your discard to your hand. A fantastic complement to Town Volunteers, which will also help you recycle those basic Pokemon and energy cards. And then what I feel to be the most powerful member of the ball engine, Fast Ball, which will make you wonder, where were they going without ever knowing the way? Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you hit an evolution card. Show that card to your opponent and then put it in your hand. This is essentially a version of Professor Elm's training method that you can use 4 times in the same turn and not use up a supporter slot. A spectacular card for any deck that doesn't have a ton of different Pokemon lines in it. If you want to see the ball engine at its best, go check out my video I have on Speed Drill in the e-card era. It's a perfect example of how good Fast Ball can be, because in that deck you are always guaranteed to hit either a Kakuna or a Beedrill. In both cases, that's ideal. The Team Magma versus Team Aqua set appropriately gave us a Team Magma Ball and a Team Aqua Ball. For the Magma Ball, you flip a coin. If heads, you can search your deck for any Pokemon that has Team Magma in its name, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. If tails, you can only search for a basic Pokemon with Team Magma in its name, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. The Team Aqua Ball does the exact same thing, but for Pokemon that have Team Aqua in their name. This is a stupidly powerful card for a Team Magma deck or a Team Aqua deck respectively, but outside of those archetypes, it's utterly useless. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, we finally saw the appearance of Great Ball, which allowed you to search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it straight onto your bench, making it an immediate 4-of in any deck that cared about getting support Pokemon into play quickly. You can't search out basic EXs and put them straight onto your bench, but you certainly can search out Pokemon that will evolve into those EXs and get them onto your bench, thinning your deck, establishing your setup, and inadvertently powering up all of your other search and draw power. When it comes to balls, this is definitely one of the greats. Just as Team Magma and Team Aqua got their own specific search ball, Team Rocket got the equivalent when it was their time to shine in Team Rocket Returns. But this time there's no coin flip, you just straight up search your deck for a Pokemon with Dark in its name, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand. Notably, you're not looking for a Rockets Pokemon, just a Pokemon with Dark in its name, which at the time was relevant to Expanded and is still relevant to Unlimited. Unlike the Team Magma and Team Aqua balls, this is useful outside of those archetypes. It's just any deck that is utilizing a Dark Pokemon, and at the time a lot of the top decks were. Mysterious Treasures gave us 2 new members of the Ball family, the first being Dusk Ball, which is just a Master Ball but for the bottom of your deck instead of the top, so take everything I said about Master Ball and apply it to Dusk Ball. One thing I will note about Dusk Ball and the formats that it was legal in is that you can grab EX and Level X Pokemon with Dusk Ball. It does not exclude them from this search. We also got Quick Ball, which functions the same as Fast Ball, but you keep going until you hit a Pokemon. It doesn't have to be an evolution card. In the early days of Diamond and Pearl, the popularity of Turn 2 decks had really shot up, and so you can see how Quick Ball was an amazing addition to those new ball engines that would allow you to just play a ton of trainer cards on your turn to search out every single Pokemon in your deck. A lot of these Turn 2 decks only ran 10 Pokemon, so it was no problem to have like 4 Stage 1s on the field during your second turn. Our next Capture Sphere came about in Great Encounters with Premier Ball. Premier Ball was an auto-include for any deck that utilized level X's, because Premier Ball would let you search not only your deck, but your discard pile for a level X. Show it to your opponent and then put it in your hand. It's a tutor card and a reanimation spell in one. Luxury Ball was also an auto-include for most decks, just because it let you search your deck for any Pokemon you want, as long as it's not a level X, but who cares if it's a level X, you already have Premier Ball for that. The only caveat is that if you already have a Luxury Ball in your discard, you can't play another Luxury Ball. So you just slide one of these into any deck you build from Stormfront forward, because it's too good not to. A couple more additions to the list of ball cards was added in Next Destiny, starting with Heavy Ball, which allowed you to search your deck for a Pokemon with a retreat cost 3 or more. Very nice for the decks that this actually applied to, but it was limited in use due to that very specific caveat. Alternatively, Level Ball allowed you to search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Remember that this was before power creep had gone completely wild, so the number of Pokemon that were at 90 or less was quite a few. You were grabbing almost every basic or stage 1 in the game, so much more usable than Heavy Ball when it came to just general decks. In doing this video, it surprised me that Ultra Ball did not get introduced until Next Destinies. I always thought it was much earlier than that. I guess because Ultra Ball has been a part of the franchise since the beginning. It's definitely an all-timer when it comes to balls. It's essentially a ball version of computer search. Discard 2 cards from your hand to go search your deck for any Pokemon. Even better for decks that want certain cards in your discard. It can streamline setups and go into almost any deck. Just an all-around solid orb. Team Galactic got skipped, but Team Plasma did get their own ball. It kind of goes without saying that this ball is really good in decks that use Team Plasma Pokemon, because it allows you to just search up any Team Plasma Pokemon you want, put it in your hand, shuffle up. In Plasma Blast, we got Master Ball as an Ace Spec card. Now, this is not a reprint of the former Master Ball because they do different things. This version allows you to search your deck for any Pokemon you want, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Very similar to Luxury Ball. In case you don't know, you can only have one Ace Spec card total in your deck, and so you have to be very picky about which Ace Spec in particular you want as a major support in your deck, and this never really felt good enough to justify being the one A-Spec card you pick. I just feel like all the other ball cards do things that are similar enough that Master Ball isn't that much better, which is why most people just opted to use Computer Search. Computer Search was just a better search card than Master Ball was. Primal Clash gave us both Dive Ball and Repeat Ball. It goes without saying that Dive Ball is amazing for any water deck. It allows you to go grab any water type from your deck. Repeat Ball offers a little bit more general use, as it allows you to search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as a Pokemon you already have in play. Generally, one of your setup strategies is to have a backup Pokemon on the bench that you will be building up alongside your active. Repeat Ball is going to allow you to do that much easier. Double Crisis saw the return of Team Magma and Team Aqua cards. With those came the upgraded Team Aqua and Team Magma balls, but this time they're great. Team Aqua's Great Ball allows you to search your deck for a basic Team Aqua Pokemon and a basic Water Energy card and put those right into your hand. Team Magma's Great Ball does the same thing. You search for a basic Team Magma Pokemon and you get a basic Fighting Energy to put into your hand. Amazing utility cards for Team Aqua and Team Magma decks, but outside of those two archetypes, they are Energy Search. That's pretty much all they're going to be able to do if you don't have Team Aqua or Team Magma Pokemon in your deck. As we move into the Sun and Moon era, we get Nest Ball. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and slap it onto the bench. That's pretty good, especially since there's no text limiting what type of basic Pokemon you can grab. If it's a basic EX or GX Pokemon, you can get it and put it on your bench for free. We also got Timer Ball, which had you flip 2 coins, and for each heads, you could search your deck for an evolution card. This would seem like a logical counterpoint or partner to Nest Ball, but I hate this card because I would play it and I would flip 2 tails constantly. Like, I would play 4 Timer Balls in a turn and go get 1 evolution card. I hate coin flips, and I would rather just play a Professor's Research and try to draw into the evolution card I need rather than use this card. But if you like coin flips and probability favors you, then sure, go for it. Timer Ball. Beast Ball from Celestial Storm is a bit of an odd one. It does allow you to look at all of your prize cards for free, even though you do have to shuffle them after you've looked at them, so it's not super helpful in allowing you to pick the best prize card moving forward. And if there's not an Ultra Beast there, then you don't really get to swap out and make your prize draws better. So you either have to have already searched your deck and done some mental counting as you go to confirm that there is an Ultra Beast in your prize cards and then use Beast Ball, or just take a shot in the dark. If you're already doing that, then you should know what's in your prize cards based on what you see when you search your deck. So what's really the point of this card if you can only pull an Ultra Beast from your prize cards with it? Now, if it said prizes or deck, that would be a different story, but it doesn't. Lost Thunder gave us Net Ball, which is amazing for grass-type decks, especially in GLC. This is a must include. Even if you go to search up a basic grass-type Pokemon and you don't find one, you can at least get an energy card. Cherish Ball from Unified Minds is obviously very good for GX-heavy decks, especially those that use Tag Team GX, because you could go grab monstrous Tag Team Pokemon and get it into play super easily. However, once the Sun and Moon era was over and GX Pokemon were no longer being printed, this card kind of ceased to be useful unless you're just running an unlimited deck, or at least an expanded deck that uses GX Pokemon. Let's look at Dream Ball from Evolving Skies. You can play this card only if you took it as a face-down prize card before you put it in your hand. A judging nightmare for people that aren't paying attention to what they do, because most of the time when someone takes a prize, they just swipe it, put it in their hand. Dream Ball has to be played before it goes to your hand. So you look at your prize card, you see if it's a Dream Ball. If it is, you have to play it then, or else it's a nothing card. If you put it into your hand, your opponent has no way of knowing if you drew it from your prizes or if it was already in your hand. So it's extremely situational, but because of that, it's also extremely powerful. If you're able to actually get a Dream Ball from your prize cards and play it, you get to search your deck for any Pokemon and put it directly on your bench. Doesn't matter if it's Stage 1, Stage 2, GX, EX, you can just grab any Pokemon you want and get it into play instantly. There are plenty of ways that you can utilize combos with Dream Ball, like with Peonia, to cheat a bunch of powerful stage 2s into play, but that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of different cards in your deck comboing to get something into play when you could just play the basic and then rare candy it into the evolution, which does require you to actually have all of those cards in hand. But if you know a better combo, or if I'm missing something with Dream Ball that makes it good, then let me know down in the comments. The two most recent balls as of the making of this video are Feather Ball and Hisuian Heavy Ball from Astral Radiance. Feather Ball is a solid addition to any hit and run decks, or just if you have utility Pokemon in your deck that you can go grab with Feather Ball, it gets it into play faster. However, that does severely limit this selection and the utility of this card, so its counterpart actually saw a lot more play. Hisuian Heavy Ball allows you to look at all of your face down prize cards, which is useful in its own right, but it also helps solve one of the biggest tempo problems in Pokemon, which is having one of the key players in your deck stuck in your prize cards. If you look at your prize cards and you see a basic Pokemon in there, you can swap it for Hisuian Heavy Ball in your hand. When you get into high level play and you have all of these single tech cards in your deck, if you only have one copy of Manaphy and you need it now, you search your deck, you can't find the Manaphy, you know it's in your prize cards, you go after it with a Hisuian Heavy Ball. If you are late in the game and you know that that Radiant Charizard is stuck in your prizes, you can go grab it with Hisuian Heavy Ball. And I believe that's all the balls we have in the TCG. If I missed any balls, let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, let me know what your favorite balls are. Stay tuned to the channel for more vintage Pokemon TCG content, as well as just some other modern Pokemon TCG content that I slap in here whenever I feel like it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.